What if I told you that the secret to manifesting prosperity has been literally in your hands all along? Welcome, worthy seekers of ancient wisdom, to this profound journey into one of the most closely guarded esoteric practices known only to initiates throughout the ages. I am honored to be your guide as we explore the mystical art of palm inscription, a practice so powerful yet so simple that those who have mastered it have walked the path of abundance for centuries. This is knowledge that transcends time, wisdom that has been whispered in temples, shared in secret chambers of mystery schools, and preserved by those who understood that the human hand is not merely a physical appendage, but a divine instrument of creation and manifestation. As above, so below, as within, so without, and truly what you inscribe upon your palm creates ripples across the very fabric of your reality. Why has this knowledge been protected? Because power, when misused, creates disharmony in the cosmic order. Today, I share this with you not merely as information, but as a sacred trust, a key to unlock dormant abilities that already exist within you. Your hands are not just tools for labor, they are conduits of divine energy, receivers and transmitters of the cosmic forces that shape our existence. Are you ready to receive what the ancients have known for millennia? The mystical science of the hands dates back to the cradle of civilization itself. In ancient Egypt, hieroglyphic inscriptions depict high priests of Thoth, the god of wisdom and magic, making precise markings on their palms before conducting rituals of manifestation. The pharaohs themselves were initiated into these practices, believing that what was inscribed on the palm created a direct channel to the realm of the gods. The Hermetic tradition, founded on the teachings attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, preserved these Egyptian mysteries and expanded upon them. The emerald tablet itself contains the cryptic passage, "That which you seal with sacred signs upon the temple of flesh calls forth its mirror in the world of form." This temple of flesh was understood by initiates to refer to specific regions of the palm, each connected to cosmic forces. Within the Kabbalah, the Jewish mystical tradition, we find another profound system of hand wisdom. The 10 Sephiroth, divine emanations in the Tree of Life, were mapped onto the hands. Kabbalists taught that by activating these points through sacred inscriptions, one could align with the divine flow of abundance. The Zohar specifically mentions how the righteous who know the secret marks open the gates of heaven with their hands. The Chaldean mystery schools of ancient Mesopotamia developed perhaps the most elaborate system of all. Their priest astronomers understood the hand as a microcosm of the celestial realm, with each finger corresponding to a planet and each region to a constellation. Their texts describe how the wise one who knows the symbols of prosperity draws them in sacred silence upon the mount of the sun, and abundance follows as night follows day. This knowledge didn't vanish with these ancient civilizations. It was preserved and transmitted through initiatic chains. The Pythagorean Brotherhood in Greece incorporated these teachings, as did various Gnostic sects during the early Christian era. Indeed, there are subtle references to this practice in biblical passages. "Behold, I have graven thee upon the palms of my hands," states Isaiah 49:16, a verse that takes on new meaning when viewed through an esoteric lens. During the Renaissance, when ancient wisdom experienced a revival, these hand practices were rediscovered and integrated into ceremonial magic by figures like Marsilio Ficino and Giordano Bruno. Secret societies like the Rosicrucians preserved these teachings, passing them from master to student through unbroken chains of oral tradition. To understand the profound power of palm inscription, we must first grasp the fundamental esoteric principle that energy follows intention and form follows thought. The hand represents the microcosm of your entire being, a perfect map of your connection to cosmic forces and terrestrial manifestation. Each region of your palm corresponds to a specific archetype, a divine principle, a planetary force. As above, so below. The macrocosm of the universe is reflected in the microcosm of your hand. When you deliberately inscribe symbols, numbers, or words upon these regions, you are essentially programming your connection to these cosmic forces. Let us explore these sacred correspondences. The region at the base of your thumb, extending to where your lifeline begins, is the Mount of Venus. This is the domain of Aphrodite, of Isis, the divine feminine principle of attraction, harmony, and love. When you seek to enhance relationships or bring greater harmony into your life, this is where your focus must be directed. Moving to the base of your index finger lies the Mount of Jupiter. This region connects you to Zeus, to the principle of leadership, authority, and expansion. Those seeking advancement in position, greater influence, or the power to lead others would work with this area of the palm. The Mount of Saturn resides at the base of your middle finger. This is the realm of Chronos, of time, discipline, and spiritual wisdom. It governs maturity, responsibility, and your connection to higher spiritual truths. When seeking to deepen your spiritual practices or manifest greater wisdom in your life, this is the region to activate. Perhaps most significant for our discussion today is the Mount of Apollo, found at the base of your ring finger. This is the domain of the sun, of Aten-Ra, the divine principle of illumination, creativity, and prosperity. This solar center of your hand is directly connected to your ability to manifest abundance, wealth, and material success. Finally, at the base of your little finger lies the Mount of Mercury. Hermes, the messenger, rules here, governing communication, travel, commerce, and intellectual pursuits. Those seeking to enhance business ventures, communications, or movement in their lives would focus on this area. The hand that inscribes with conscious intent becomes the hand that receives divine gifts. This ancient Hermetic teaching reminds us that these correspondences are not mere superstition, but represent genuine energetic connections between our physical form and universal forces. The practice of palm inscription works through multiple esoteric principles simultaneously. First, through the principle of sympathetic magic, where like attracts like. By creating a symbol of what you seek, you draw that reality toward you. Second, through the activation of neurological pathways. The hand has one of the largest representations in the brain's sensory cortex. By working with the hand, you directly influence your neurological patterns. Third, through the principle of directed consciousness, what you focus on with clear intent expands in your experience. The act of inscription focuses your consciousness like a laser on your specific desire. Fourth, through the principle of externalization. By making your desire tangible through inscription, you bridge the gap between the internal world of thought and the external world of manifestation. Remember, that which is written in sacred intention upon the flesh becomes written in manifestation upon the book of life. The hand serves as both the pen and the page in this profound alchemical process. Now, let us turn theory into practice, with specific instructions on how to use this ancient wisdom in your daily life. The practice is deceptively simple, yet profoundly powerful when approached with proper reverence and understanding. First, determine your dominant hand, the one you naturally write with. This is your projective hand, while your non-dominant hand is your receptive hand. For optimal results, you will inscribe your intentions on your receptive hand while wearing any symbolic rings or jewelry on your dominant hand. To begin the practice of palm inscription, 1. Center yourself through 3 deep breaths, clearing your mind of distractions. 2. Identify clearly what aspect of prosperity you wish to manifest, be it a specific sum of money, a business opportunity, or a state of abundant flow. Condense this desire into either a simple symbol, a number, or a single word that encapsulates your intention. The more concentrated your representation, the more potent the energetic signal. Using your dominant hand's index finger as your pen, gently but deliberately trace this symbol, number, or word onto the Mount of Apollo, base of your ring finger, on your receptive hand. 5. As you trace, visualize the symbol glowing with golden solar light, activating the prosperity center of your palm. 6. Complete the inscription by drawing 3 small circles around your symbol, sealing your intention within sacred geometry. Close the practice by bringing your palms together in prayer position, acknowledging the divine power you have activated. For maximum effectiveness, perform this practice at dawn when the sun's energy is waxing, and repeat it daily for at least 21 days, the time required to establish new energetic patterns. Remember to keep your inscriptions private. As the ancient wisdom teaches, that which is proclaimed to the many loses power. That which is preserved in sacred silence multiplies in strength. Do not discuss your specific inscriptions with others, as this disperses the concentrated energy you are cultivating. While this practice is powerful, it must be approached with appropriate reverence and understanding. There are important considerations to ensure harmonious results. The ideal state for inscription is one of calm certainty, not desperate need or anxious craving. Your emotional state while inscribing directly influences the energetic imprint. Practice only when you can achieve a state of centered presence. The optimal environment is one of privacy and minimal distraction. Dawn is most favorable, as mentioned, but sunset can also be effective. Avoid practicing at midnight, as this time carries energies that may not align with prosperity work. Most importantly, maintain purity of intention. This practice works through harmony with universal law, not by opposing it. Never inscribe intentions that would bring harm to others or violate free will. For example, never write a specific person's name when working with relationship energies. Instead, focus on qualities you wish to attract. The hand that seeks through greed receives nothing. The hand that offers in service receives abundance. This paradoxical wisdom reminds us that true prosperity comes not from taking, but from creating value for others. Throughout history, notable practitioners of sacred hand wisdom have left accounts of its effectiveness. The renowned 16th century alchemist Paracelsus wrote extensively about what he called the solar inscription, crediting it with his ability to attract patronage and funding for his scientific endeavors despite frequent controversy. The Comte de Saint-Germain, that enigmatic figure of European mystery traditions, reportedly taught this technique to selected students, including several who later rose to positions of significant influence in pre-revolutionary France. Franz Anton Mesmer, pioneer of early therapeutic magnetism, noted in his private journals that he would inscribe healing intentions on his palm before treating patients, claiming this amplified his healing abilities dramatically. In more recent times, numerous business leaders and innovators have quietly incorporated similar practices into their morning routines. Though they rarely discuss these esoteric elements publicly, these techniques have been preserved in certain business mastermind groups that understand success has both outer and inner dimensions. What's particularly fascinating is how these ancient practices have parallels in contemporary fields. Modern neuroscience has documented the extraordinary neurological connections between hand stimulation and brain activity. The emerging field of embodied cognition recognizes that physical gestures and positions directly influence our psychological states. What the ancients knew through revelation, science now discovers through observation. The wisdom traditions were not operating from superstition, but from sophisticated understanding of subtle, energetic principles that modern research is only beginning to validate. We have traversed a remarkable landscape of ancient wisdom together, from the temples of Egypt to the mystery schools of Greece, from Kabbalistic teachings to practical applications you can begin using today. The humble human hand, when understood through the lens of esoteric knowledge, reveals itself as a powerful instrument of conscious creation. Remember that what I've shared today is merely the outer courtyard of a vast temple of knowledge. The first inscription opens the door. Dedicated practice reveals the inner chambers. As you work with these techniques, your own experience will become your greatest teacher, revealing nuances and depths that cannot be conveyed through words alone. The most profound truth about prosperity is that it already exists within you as potential. These practices simply remove the barriers to its expression. You do not attract what you want, you unveil what you are. This palm inscription technique helps align your energetic signature with the abundance that is your birthright. I invite you to approach this practice with both enthusiasm and reverence. Test it for yourself, observe the results with a discerning mind, and allow your direct experience to be your guide. For as the ancient Hermetic axiom reminds us, true knowledge is experience. Everything else is merely information. If this exploration has resonated with you, there are deeper levels of this and related practices awaiting your discovery in our other videos. The path of esoteric wisdom is endless, each revelation opening the door to greater mysteries. I leave you with this final contemplation. Your hands are not merely appendages of flesh and bone. They are living symbols of your divine capacity to receive and to give, to shape and to transform. What you inscribe upon them today shapes what manifests in your tomorrow. Peace, profound, worthy seekers, until we meet again in the sacred space of shared wisdom.